Life is for living. I wish I knew that many years ago, and I'm actually doing that now. And this is why I travel so much, because so many of us, especially in the medical field, we don't even know what makes us happy because we never had a chance or a moment to take the time to reflect on what it is that makes us happy. We're just going with the flow, going, 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 going. The years go by and you don't know yourself. You don't know what it is that fuels you back, that fills you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I was able to figure that out for myself. And that's traveling. And that's why I make it a point to make sure that I do those things so that everything else I have going on, I can kind of enjoy the process a little bit more.
What's up, Doc? Welcome to the Docs Get Money podcast. Are you a badass doctor killing it professionally and has bigger dreams than just clocking in and out of the hospital? Do you want to leave behind a legacy that is as lit as an HBCU homecoming? Want to know how other doctors are getting to the big bag? That's right, making 5, 6, and 7 figures without putting on the white coat? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Kimberly, but you can call me Kim or KB. I went from being a burnt out and overwhelmed emergency physician to the founder and CEO of 2 6-figure non-clinical companies and beating burnout along the way. I'm also your business coach, here to help you make money moves to change the world. This podcast isn't just about making money, though. It's about leveling up your life, mindset, and bank account so you can build an empire that's as iconic as Beyonce. You ready? Let's get into it. What's up, Doc? Welcome back to the Docs Get Money podcast. I have a special guest today. Her name is Dr. Dr. Bill. One thing I did not ask you before I hit record is how to properly pronounce your last name. I'm sorry.
True pronunciation, most people can't say. It's Beaulieu.
Beaulieu.
It's really Beaulieu. It's Beaulieu. That's
Beaulieu.
Yep. But most people, yeah, you said it right. You said it right, Beaulieu. That's how you say it. But most people will say Beaulieu, and I'm like, that's fine. I'll be
not Beaulieu
all day long. So,
well, and it's Dr. Eva or Dr. Ava?
Ava.
Ava. Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Eva Beaulieu.
Yes.
Okay, but say I'm doing it. My French is a little bad. Sorry, guys. So we have her on the podcast today. You might know her from her insanely popular Instagram page, Dr. Eva B. She has over 300,000 followers on Instagram, but she is a doctor, a mogul. And so I had to get her on the podcast today because she does and has done so many different things since she has finished residency and tapped into so many different parts of entrepreneurship in her own journey that I wanted to just glean some nuggets from her. And on top of that, y'all, she is investing in the tallest building in Ghana. We are going to get to that because, like I said, she's done a lot of other really cool things along the way. But Dr. Ava, why don't you start with just telling us a little bit about yourself? And please, thank you again for joining us on the Docs Get Money podcast. We're so happy to have you.
First of all, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Well, where can I start? So I was born and raised in Haiti until I was about 15. Then moved to the U.S. My parents are both doctors. I grew up in a family of doctors. So that's all I knew was how to be a doctor. I never saw myself doing anything else, you know. Moved to Florida, finished high school, did my undergrad, started my medical school in the UK, then transferred to Ross University, where I finished my clinical rotations and graduated from, and then did my internal medicine residency in Macon, Georgia. And then that's how I ended up in Georgia, met my husband, and then, you know, the rest is history. Opened up a few businesses, wrote a couple of books. We have 3 kids together.
Blah, 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 blah.
So, yeah.
So let's backtrack a little bit. So Hubby Bear is an ER doctor. So, of course, I have my affinity towards him. Did he also go to Ross as well, too? Or did he go to another medical school?
He went to medical school in Chicago.
Oh, nice. Okay, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And so let's fast forward. Well, not fast forward. Let's talk about you a little bit. You glazed over opening a few business. So let's talk about maybe the first business that you decided to open, and whether that was with you, your husband, and tell me a
Yes.
little bit more
So,
about that.
like finishing up residency and life was moving super fast. It was marriage, it was buying a house, it was having kids. It was just one thing after the other, responsibilities. Took my boards and literally jumped right into working full time as a hospitalist.
Mm-hmm.
He was working full time in the emergency room. And you know how that is being a doctor,
Yeah.
but marrying a physician also, it was chaotic. The
Mm,
hospital hands you your schedule, so you're working nights sometimes, it's holidays sometimes. Sometimes I would be coming home, he's leaving, we don't see each other
yeah.
for a couple days. You just can't win when the hospital's giving you your schedule. And we have young
Right.
kids, and we have no family in town. So something had to give. And the ER has a really high burnout. He had been doing it for a little while, at least a good 10 years. And
Mm,
so he decided it was time for him to figure something out. He bought a Wendy's, tore it down, made it an urgent care, and then for the first 5 years was working in the emergency room to fund the urgent care. And
wow.
then eventually it was able to stand on its own to where he left the emergency room and started working at the urgent care full time.
Wow.
Um, and then that was 15 years ago in
Mm-hmm.
2010. And then in 2019, decided to open his second location,
Mm.
right before the pandemic. So we've been doing that for the last 15 plus years. And it's been great because the minute he left the emergency room, things have gotten so much better. His schedule was better than mine. He
Yeah,
was
I'm
more
sure.
weekends, holidays, nights. Because we had young kids at home, so he was able to stay home with the kids on the weekends, while I was working every other weekend. So
Mm.
that was the beginning of the entrepreneurial journey.
For your family. So in the early stages, how did you kind of help supplement? Like, how did you play the role into the urgent care?
Really, working there sometimes, like when you are the business owner, you're
Hmm.
everything. You're the receptionist, you're the scheduler, you're the doctor, you're the person buying supplies. You're literally doing everything at first.
Definitely, you're the EVS. You're
Yeah,
the janitor as
doing
well too.
everything. But it took a lot because they don't teach us how to run that type of business.
Uh-uh.
Medical school residency, you don't learn how to do that. So you have to have that spirit of entrepreneurial in you, being an entrepreneur. So, and my husband is more of that than me, to be honest. And then
Mm.
learning the contracts with the insurance companies, staffing, credentialing, billing. It takes a lot. It's a lot of
Hmm.
a learning curve. He had to go to a couple of urgent care seminars around the
Hmm.
country. One of them was like 3 days where he would go with his notepad, take notes,
Yeah.
work with people that have done it before. So we've had a lot of learning curve.
Hmm.
Over, and we've made mistakes, of course, but it's been a great experience.
Got you. Yeah, no, that's a steep learning curve. So what would you say one of maybe your first major lesson together was in the business? And maybe that was a big success, a big failure that happened.
Basically, in the emergency room, you are thought to just see anyone, whether they have
Hmm.
insurance, whether they don't have insurance. That's not your concern. You're treating
Right.
everybody the same. But with the urgent care, switching that mindset was the hardest thing because you still have to be able to keep the lights on. You have payroll, you have bills to pay, you have overhead. And
Right.
so at the beginning, what my husband used to do, there were patients because we opened up the first urgent care in an underserved area
Of
strategically on
course.
purpose. He
Right.
wanted to really help the people of Atlanta. And he used to
Hmm.
work at Atlanta Medical Center, which eventually shut down. But he treated
I
a
did
lot of
rotations there.
yeah, he treated a lot
That's
of the
crazy.
underserved community, so that was his
Hmm.
passion. And from at the beginning, there were patients that would come in and say, Doc, I don't have any money. And he would be like, fine, you come back and pay me. You owe me. And he had a list and then realized these people never came back to pay him. And the bill still had to get paid. And he said, I can't do that anymore. I'm just gonna have to put somebody else at the front desk
Mm,
to handle the finances, because if it's
right.
me, I'm gonna feel bad and I'm
Right.
gonna want to see them for free. So you
Right.
can't do that anymore. And so that was the biggest lesson, is switching that mindset of you want to help people and you're willing to do
Hmm.
it for free, but then when it's your own business,
Yeah.
you can't do
Right.
anything for free, unfortunately.
Right. No, that's so good because I think that's what is a biggest hiccup for a lot of us doctors that come into entrepreneurship and come into business. It's like we want to serve, we want to help. Duh, we are physicians. That's what we do is to we save lives and we help people every day. But it does take a little bit of a leap of our mindset on when it comes to sales, when it comes to money, when it comes to exchanging um goods for actual money, because we talked about this a little bit before I hit the record button, but they divorce us from money and what we're actually doing. We don't know how much we are actually worth to hospitals because we don't see. We
Yep.
just go to work, we see the patients, we might put our orders in, and then every so often there's a paycheck that gets deposited. And we don't know what percentage of what is what. It's just this is what we are contracted to pay, get paid rather. But no, that makes so much sense that he kind of had that struggle up front with that. What about you? How did you kind of play in um to the front or the beginning of the business at the time? Were you just seeing patients or what were you doing?
Patients, answering phone calls, when he was working overnight because he was doing night shifts, he would be
Mm-hmm.
sleeping. I would be the one answering the calls. If the x-ray had an issue, if somebody needed to come, we were tag teaming. We're doing
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that stuff. The beginning was very, very hard. And when you
Mm-hmm.
open up a business like that and you're doing it on your own with your own funding,
Yeah,
it takes time to take
it
off.
does.
It took
It
5
does.
years for it to be able to stand alone. Like I said, he was funding the urgent care by working in the emergency room. So for 5 years, you're balancing doing both, working full-time in the emergency room because you still have your household expenses, and then
Right.
you have the urgent care expenses. And I was doing the same, managing the kids, trying to figure it out. He was doing locums as well on the side. So it took a lot at the beginning, but we
Mm-hmm.
knew that we needed to go through that period in order to
Mm-hmm.
let go of something eventually for the long term.
How did you keep that light going? Because that's hard. 5 years is a long time. So between him working everywhere, I don't hear very much time with you. I don't hear very much time with himself. I don't hear very much time with your beautiful your kids. So how did you guys, I guess, as a couple and then as a family, try to just okay, this is what we're working towards. I know it doesn't look like it right now, but this is what we're going to get to.
It was a lot. It's a blur. I don't even know how we did it. And till today, we always joke about it. How did we manage? It's like we were winging it. And we have no family in town. So I'm hiring nannies. It's not working
Mm,
out. We're going to the next person. It's not working out. We were really trying to juggle it. And
mm-hmm,
I think because I'm in the medical field and because he's in the medical field, we probably understood what it took more. I don't think it would have worked out if it was somebody else who wasn't in the medical field. It's kind
hmm,
of crazy, but I know what it's like to be a doctor. So I understood what it was like for him to not be home sometimes because he was
yeah,
full, and vice versa, But if
yeah.
it was anybody else, I don't know if they would have understood the struggle and the sacrifices that you were making.
Mm-hmm,
But I
mm-hmm,
think, giving the other person grace and understanding what it takes to be in this field
mm-hmm.
and how we were striving to get out of this circle that felt like
Right.
it was never ending really helped us get through those moments.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. So now today you said you guys have two locations and he's full time in the business now and then things are it's fully supported and standing on its own. So at some point you kind of had your own entrepreneurial I guess bug that you got bit by. So tell me now after the urgent care started to kind of take off, what did you delve into?
So eventually, it comes to a point where you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a business owner, you're doing all that for everybody else. And I felt like I really wasn't doing anything for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I started to say, okay, the urgent care is taking off. He's there full time. His schedule is better now. We
Mhm.
have somebody at home with the kids on the weekends because he's not working in the emergency room anymore.
Mhm.
What do I want to do for myself?
Mhm.
You know? And then I started my social media journey by accident. You know how everybody writes in a journal? I started putting things out there that were inspirational for myself to go back and, refer back to it.
Yeah.
And I started getting a response from other people, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let's see where that goes." And so that's how it started, and that's how I started with my workout journey, the gym,
Hmm.
slowly adding myself back to the schedule, which meant I had to take something out in order to add those things. So it's
Mhm.
not something that you can just jump into. You have to slowly do those things,
Mhm.
so the social media thing started taking off. I started doing brand deals, and then eventually left full-time hospital medicine because I was sick and tired of being handed my schedule and sick and tired of
Mhm.
being burnt out and sick and tired of not having a say to doing locums.
Got you.
So
Let's backtrack a little bit to your social media journey because when did you actually start intentionally or unintentionally kind of just sharing yourself? What year was that, would you say?
I want to say around 2019.
Okay, so again, like
When
right
they,
before the pandemic.
yeah,
Yeah.
right before like about a year before the pandemic. So around that time is when
Okay.
I started sharing slowly and then more and more and more and more.
Did you or do you feel pressure to what's the word I'm trying to say? To be a certain way on social media now because you have the title of doctor. I know you said you kind of started off with like just you were inspiring yourself. You were just documenting your workout journey so that you could see your own progress. But did you ever feel the need to be a certain way because you hold the title of physician or doctor and you're putting yourself on social media? And if you did, like, how did you kind of like get through that or get past that?
I want to say at the beginning more so than now. I know
Okay.
that sounds crazy, right? But at the beginning, well, more in our head about it.
Mm-hmm.
Want things to look a certain way. We want things to be perfect. You want to
Mm-hmm.
have, certain aesthetics. So it was a little bit more pressure at first because I was
Mm-hmm.
getting to know this space. As doctors, we don't really know how to navigate that space. It's a fine line
Right.
between the two, staying professional and at the same time being a little bit more of you.
Yeah.
So I think at the beginning, it was way more pressure. But the more and more I do this, the more and more I'm like, oh, the people really don't care. They don't care what you look
Hmm.
like. They don't care about the aesthetics. They just care about the message that you're putting out. They just want to learn something from you. They just want to relate, so it's less pressure for me now. Like I can literally create something in 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes while I'm in the car, and then put it out because
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that pressure of having to do all the extra stuff that I've realized nobody cares about. But it took some time to get there. And I feel
Right.
like the less pressure that I put on myself, the
Hmm.
easier it gets and the bigger it gets. You see what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we're in our heads a lot. So we're our own
Constantly.
worst
We're constantly
enemy.
in our heads.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really, 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 really cool. So you slowly, and were you like trying to grow to a certain goal of people or followers, or did you just let that journey just kind of take you and it just like, okay, well, everything else is just kind of icing on the cake. I'm just sharing my journey. Or like I said, or did you have a specific goal? Like I want to get to 10K followers. I want to get to 20K followers. Or like I said, it was just like vibes. Yeah, you're on vibes.
I think right now it's whatever happens, happens.
Hmm.
I don't let it pressure me like that anymore. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If the people come, they come. If they don't, they don't.
Hmm.
You just have to be yourself. And once you're yourself, your tribe is gonna find you, your people are gonna find you. But when you're trying to be something other than who you are, it's a lot of pressure and it's not
Hmm.
sustainable. It's not
That's true.
sustainable. And it will fluctuate because it will show. But just be yourself, be your authentic self, and you will eventually find your people. Your people
I
will
love that.
eventually find you as well.
I love that because I feel like there's so many physicians, there's so many nurses, doctors, people that want to get out on social media and influence or just share more of themselves. But I know me personally in residency was told, don't get on social media, don't do this, don't do that, don't do anything really. Don't even have a social media presence. But it's like virtually impossible to do that now. So it's like, how do you appropriately, quote unquote, navigate that if you're a physician or if you work for a hospital system? And then, like you said, still be authentic to yourself. I love the fact now that you're locums, you're independent. It's like, listen, this is all on me. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter about whatever system I'm attached to. But I think that's one of the bigger hurdles, is that so many people feel like they can't even get started because they feel stifled by the rules or a box that we're supposed to be staying in.
definitely the box. And that's what I was gonna say. It's
Hmm.
brainwashing that they're doing to us in residency. Really. So
Yeah.
when I look back, a lot of the things that we thought were normal back then were definitely not normal. And they do it on purpose. The system does it on purpose. They want to brainwash you to be a certain way, do certain things, the way that they want you to do it. And you have to realize we have so much potential. We're human, we're individuals. We're not just, I always say I love medicine, but medicine is not who I am. I mean,
Right.
I'm myself. I have other passions outside of medicine. I don't want to be put in
Hmm.
a box. I really don't.
Right.
When I'm at work, I'm a professional. I take care of my patients. I do what I have to do. But when I'm not at work, I should be allowed to do whatever I want to do.
Hmm.
That's not related to being a doctor all the time.
Right.
I don't
Right.
always want to be Dr. Ava. You see what I mean? So I
Right.
think a lot of people want to get into social media and they don't know how, especially in healthcare,
Hmm.
because of the brainwashing. So having to undo what they've been telling you all these years. Don't get on
Right.
social media. Don't do it. It's going to make you look a certain way. It's going to make your
Right.
patients think you're not professional anymore.
Right.
It's not true. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. Because when you're human, they see that human side of you, they relate
Hmm.
to you more.
Yeah.
It makes people connect with you more. Um, so I mean, but there is a fine line though. You don't obviously you have to respect the rules of your environment. If they don't want you to record at work, don't do it.
Hmm.
Oh, you have to watch what you say when you're in the establishment. There's HIPAA rules, there's
Correct.
all that. But other than that, everything else is dope.
Up for grabs.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
whatever you
I
want
was
to
gonna I was gonna say, if you were to give someone advice who does want to start a social media journey now, today, what would be, I guess, your top three tips that you would give them in order to do so successfully?
show up consistently would be one, and that consistency could be anything to anyone. So what is that consistency to you? Is it showing up twice a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a week? You decide what that consistency is to you, but stay consistent because the people that are following you will be expecting to hear from you. So you
Hmm.
can't just ghost and not show up for 6 months. It's not going to work, right? So be consistent. That's one. Number two, relieve yourself of all the pressure. Just be
Hmm.
you. You have a story to tell. You have people that want to hear what you have to say. You have a lot that you can teach people. So relieve all that pressure from yourself. Just show up as you. And and then number three would be, what would number
Picking your
three be?
brain. But I feel like the first two tips are awesome so far.
Yeah, I think social media has its positive and its negative, but
Hmm.
I look at it as more positive than negative. I mean, how else would you be able to have access to so many people
Right.
from across the world that you can actually relate to, that can
Right.
relate to you? You can't really do much without social media nowadays. Maybe 10
Right.
years ago, but the future is social. You can't have a business without social media. So if that is something that you eventually want to have, you want to sell books, you want to have apparels, you want to have I don't know, a clinic. I mean, anything. You're going to have to learn how to get on social media at some point, well, one way or another.
That's what I was going to ask you next. So, has a patient ever recognized you from social media
Yes.
or told you, like, oh my God, I follow you. You're
Yes.
my doctor. I can't
And
believe
it's
it.
kind of weird. Yes, and it's kind of weird. I even had a patient come to the clinic and he was like, I found you, can you be my doctor? And I'm like, but I still try to maintain that professional relationship, obviously.
Hmm.
If they DM me, I don't DM back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, you have to learn how to set those boundaries.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, that would have kind of creeped me out as well, too, because I've had people that have come to the ER and then found me later and found me on social media and started following me, but never like was following me before and like, oh, I found you. There
Yeah.
you are. You're my doctor. I'm like, ugh, yikes.
Yeah.
That would freak me out. Um, okay. So you also mentioned that you've written a couple of books. What did you write your books about, my dear?
Well, the first book that I wrote is called Paging Dr. You, a step-by-step guide to becoming a doctor. It's a small little book, not a lot of pages, written in very, very simple language that you can give to a 12 or 13-year-old.
Mm,
Because having gone through my journey and realizing that the stuff that I went through were absolutely not normal, when at the
yeah.
time you just made to think that this is what everybody has to go through. It is the process, right?
Right.
And then realizing that, wait, I'm here now. Why are we only 5% of doctors, Black doctors in the US? It's not
Mm-hmm.
because we're not smart. We're very
Mm-mm.
smart. It's
Extraordinarily.
the
Mm-hmm.
system is not for us. It's meant to fail us on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I wrote the book to help younger kids, high school, college, understand how to put themselves up for success. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very simple things. Don't do nothing crazy on social media because it can always follow
Right.
you. Start working on your credit early because oftentimes you're gonna need student loans. What
Right.
kind of major you need to do. Little things like that to really help them.
That's
So that
excellent
was the
advice.
first book. And then the second book I wrote a couple years later it's a children's book. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
what does it hurt for little kids. She's a pediatrician. She's married. She has a couple of kids. Her husband is not a doctor. She goes to work and she fixes kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm showing kids so they can see themselves representing in the book, represented
I
in
love
because
that.
a lot of kids don't see themselves represented in books. And then it teaches them to love their doctor, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not feel afraid of their doctor. So I don't know, it's just a fun book for little kids, like 4 to 7.
I love that. Would you say that is writing has like been a passion of yours, like growing up or reading and writing, or how did you even get inspired to write books? I feel like that's something that a lot of physicians do once we kind of finish our training. But I guess what inspired you to do it?
I think that because, again, looking back and realizing, wait, there's something wrong. Well, what's happening? Why is it only 5%?
Mm-hmm.
And noticing that my journey was different because I grew up around a lot of doctors. My mom was a
Mm-hmm.
dermatologist. My dad was a radiologist. My grandpa, his dad a radiologist. His brother's a radiologist. My mom's brother's an interventional cardiologist. Her first cousin's a surgeon. He's married to an anesthesiologist. Like, it's doctors everywhere in my family, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
possibility of being a doctor was just innate. It was like easy for me to see myself being like my parents. So it's not something I thought twice about being a
Mm-hmm.
possibility. And so I think a lot of young kids don't see that. They've never seen a Black doctor. I mean,
True.
Atlanta's different. You have a
Right.
Black specialist, but a lot of places kids don't see doctors that look like them, and they don't have
Mm-hmm.
doctors in their family. So it's not something that they see themselves becoming. You don't see that on TV either. You see
Not anymore. No.
you see the
Mm-mm.
rappers, you see the movie stars, you see all of that, but you don't see the doctors, you don't
Right.
see the lawyers, you don't really see that on TV. So that's what really inspired me because my goal is really to show people because there's a stereotype out there. When you tell anyone what does a doctor look like, the first thing they think about is an older white man.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh,
older white male. Yeah. And so there's a stereotype out there that if you go to medical school, especially as a woman, you're not going to be able to have kids, have a family, have a happy life, enjoy yourself, and I want to show that with my social media page that it's not true. You can still have a successful career in medicine and still have a successful life, you know.
And look super fly doing it, because what we haven't said
Yeah,
on
and
this
still
podcast yet is that
have
you are a
all your
fashion plate, child.
passions and still all do all of that. And so that's what really inspired me to write the book, because it starts with the young kids. It starts with,
Yes.
you know, the youth. That's where it starts.
Yes. Yes. No, and what I was saying is like, no, what we haven't said is like, you can also be a fashion plate, because the girl is dressed down to the
Oh,
socks
thank you.
every day, even if she is wearing like scrubs. It's
Oh
gonna
my
be
God.
figs, top of the line. Anyways, no. So, but to be able, like you said, to show that I'm a full human being, and I'm a Black woman, and I just so happen to be a doctor, and you can do this too. Like, there's no difference between you and me. I love that.
Right.
I absolutely love that.
Right.
Okay, so we've done a lot of different kind of weaving around. Tell me about your new Ist Fisher, because I feel like you're always doing something new and exciting. So tell me a little bit about the the can't get the
Ghana
word.
project.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't even get my
Ghana.
words out. Please tell me about the Ghana project. How
I'm
did you
telling
find out
you.
about it? How did you decide to go into it? I know that I saw you guys in Ghana. So yeah, tell me everything from the beginning. How did you even find out about this opportunity?
Okay, so I grew up in Haiti, so I know what it's like to be outside of the country. So I have both perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember taking my husband to Haiti for the first time, and the minute he landed, the first thing he did was call his mom, like, "OMG, this is just like Ghana." And I had
Hmm.
never been to Ghana at that time, so I didn't know what he
Okay.
was talking about. We enjoyed ourselves, had a great time, went back to Haiti a couple times. Then it was my turn to go to Ghana. And the minute I landed, I was amazed how it reminded me so much of my country.
Hmm.
You know, Ghana is amazing. It's safe. The people are warm, welcoming.
Very warm.
The
Mm-hmm.
culture, you've been before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
very
It's
nice.
super
They
warm.
welcome you. Everybody's super nice. You feel like you're at home, and it feels like true Africa, the motherland, right? The
Right.
food is amazing. The weather is nice. It's a lot of fun. It's so many positive things. And so every year we go to Ghana. We've been going every year with the kids towards the end of the year. So we decided to invest and buy a condo. And so we got with Cape May Properties in Ghana and decided to invest in their pre-construction project at the time, which was the Signatures apartment in 2019. And then the pandemic happened, so the project kind of slowed down and then picked back up. And it was a great experience. It went pretty smoothly, minus, you know, the pandemic issues. You know what I mean? Because nobody could build anything, nobody could
Nobody could do anything. Yeah,
minus
everything
that.
was stopped.
They were real transparent, great communication. Everything went pretty smoothly. And every time we go to Ghana, this is where we stay, our place, our condo. We even shipped the car down there. So we go down there, the car is parked. We have everything we need. And so I've worked with them before and I know what it's like. So we decided now to partner up with them and become investors with them because now they're building another project, which is the
Mm-hmm.
tallest building in Ghana called the Sultan Sky. And it's going to be epic, like luxury. It's going to be like you're in Dubai, but you're in Ghana.
Oh my
Okay. And so
gosh.
that's how I got into doing that. There's so much construction happening in Ghana. It's so much developing very, very fast. But you
Hmm.
can't really trust anybody that you're working with. You can't
Mm-hmm.
really send your money to just anyone, especially being far away. You're all the
Right.
way abroad and you're trying to build something down there. So I can't speak for the other, management companies, but I can only speak for Cape May because I've done work with them before. I've invested
That's
with
so
them
true.
before. I've sent my money to them before. And um I'm enjoying what I paid for. You know
Right.
what I mean? So yeah, so that's how the journey started.
I'm obsessed with that. So, man, I had so many questions. Let me see if I lost them. So tell me about the actual building. Like, is it supposed, like, how is it supposed to be? Just only condos? Is it a mixed use space? Like, what is this building going to really be after it's built? And when
Yeah,
is it going to be projected to be done?
projected to be done in 2028.
Okay.
Mid 2028 is it's already started. So it's gonna be two parts. It's gonna be one part for people that wanna invest for short-term rentals.
Okay.
So there's gonna be management it's gonna be managing management companies as well. So you can purchase something just to rent for short-term rental, Airbnb, all of that. That
Hmm.
side is gonna have their own amenities, own pool, own everything. And then there's gonna be the other side for people that want to actually live in it. And pre-construction right now is the best time to buy because you can kind of dictate how you want things to be in your own space. You can have a maid quarter if you want. You can have 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom if you want, for those who want to
Maid
live
quarters.
in it. Okay. And then if you want to buy that side and you want to rent long term, that's fine too, as long as it's 30 days and up, because it's going to be more like residential. So we don't want people coming in and out. So it's more
Gotcha.
private. But they're going to share the same lobby, concierge area, but they'll have
Okay.
amenities.
Okay. You said maid quarters, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
immediately, yes. Immediately, yes. So
Yeah.
people can still invest right now. Like, this is
Oh,
not
yes.
something that is, the opportunity is not gone.
The opportunity is not gone. We still have units to sell, so you can still invest right now.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
If someone is interested in investing, I guess, do they have to want to live there? Do they have to want to do some sort of short-term rental? Like, what would be one of the main reasons why somebody would decide to consider this as an investment property?
Yeah, and it all depends on the long-term goals of that person. Some people just want to buy something to invest and make money off of, just to strictly make it Airbnb. When they land, they might use it a couple days and then keep renting it out.
Hmm.
Some people want to live in it. If you work remotely or you're retired or I don't know, you want to spend 2, 3 months there. It all depends on your
Hmm.
goals long term.
Hmm.
Some people might want that over building a house because the amenities are right downstairs. There's going to be a grocery store, a pharmacy. You have concierge, you have a spa. So you can go right downstairs, get what you want. There'll be some restaurants there as well. So it all depends on your long term goals.
That's
And
amazing.
the best thing is you don't even have to be a Ghanaian citizen or resident to be able to own in Ghana.
Say
So
that again.
you don't have to be a resident or have Ghanaian citizenship to be able to own.
Oh,
So it
really?
makes it easy for anybody from outside to be able to own something there.
That's really, really cool. I think one of the reasons why, not just because of the wealth building reasons why someone might invest in real estate, the reason why I wanted to talk to you about what you were doing is because I know, me personally, so many other physicians, people of the diaspora that are deciding to leave the United States and say, okay, I want to go somewhere else. Maybe it's back to their home country. Maybe it's Haiti. Maybe it's Ghana. Maybe it's to a brand new country that they may have absolutely no ties to. But to see other physicians actively investing in other parts of the world, more specifically the motherland, of course, is really, really appealing. Do you, as a family, think that you're going to leave the U.S. permanently? I know your husband is Ghanaian, but is that a goal of you guys? Is to eventually relocate to another part of the world?
Absolutely. We don't see ourselves retiring in the US. It's just a no. Now,
Yeah.
when it's going to happen for us, I don't know yet. We still have kids in school. We're trying to figure that out, but we know that for certain retirement is not going to be here. It's going to be
Hmm.
somewhere over there. So, yeah, to answer your question, I know a lot of people are thinking about doing the same
Hmm.
because things here now are just becoming expensive. The situation is just not what it used to be.
No.
So I know a lot of people are thinking about doing the same, whether that's Portugal, whether it's Africa, whether it's Mexico, Costa
Hmm.
Rica. I know so many people building abroad. So if that is a possibility or something you're thinking about doing, right now is the time because as
Right.
more and more people are doing that, it's going to become more and more expensive
Yes.
to do so.
Y- Yes. And for the Docs Get Money podcast listeners, her interview hasn't dropped yet, and since I have recorded this podcast, but when you hear the podcast for Dr. Christine Goins, she's a psychiatrist who actually lives abroad, and she helps other doctors to move abroad and still make their US salary no matter where they live around the globe. So if someone is listening and you've been thinking about relocating but you don't know what that looks like, you may want to hit Dr. Christine up. She is going to be somebody that's going to help you tremendously. But I'm glad to connect with you, Dr. Dr. Ava, because like I said, like you just said, I know retiring here in the US is not an option. It's like our money only goes so far. We might as well go to other places where our money goes a lot further, that's a lot safer, that we have a lot more freedom,
Right.
even though we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave here. So,
Yeah. And then there's also the American propaganda to make you feel that or make you think that anything that's outside of the US is not safe, is poor, is not nice. But you really have to go and see for yourself. You can't believe what you see on social media or what you see on TV. You need to go there, book a plane ticket, book a trip, and go see for yourself because it's beautiful.
exactly. Exactly. No, yeah, you have to go see for yourself. So many people just go off of what they see on TV, even when they see on social media. And it's like, no, there's nothing like actually getting on the plane, touching the grass on the other side. Everybody's talking about touch grass in the country that you're
Literally.
going to, and really actually get the feel of it, because there's nothing that is going to replace you being there, feeling how it is, smelling the air, interacting with the people, the natives of that country. Um, yeah, it's nothing like it.
Yeah,
It's
it's addictive.
incomparable.
It's addictive because once you land and you see the different culture, the different food, how people do things, their perspective, how beautiful it is, you immediately see yourself living there.
Right.
And you immediately become addicted to where you want to see more. So now
Right.
my goal is to go to way more African countries because it's a lot of wealth, it's
So much
so
wealth.
much, yeah,
So much wealth.
much. The possibilities are endless, absolutely endless.
So what African countries have you been to already? We already know Ghana,
I
of
keep going
course.
back and forth to Ghana. I keep going back and forth to South Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I've been to Kenya. Then I've been to
Okay.
Senegal briefly. Um, that's it for now. That's it for
Okay.
now. So I just want to go and do more.
You've got one on me. I've not been to Kenya yet. My assistant lives in Kenya, so I, of course, talked to her. But I've never been to Kenya. That's a definite on my place to go. I really want to go to Madagascar.
Oh,
I definitely want to go to Egypt. Of course, I feel like everybody forgets that Egypt is in Africa. I think sometimes Egyptians want to say that Egypt isn't African, but
right.
that's another country that I definitely want to do as well. And Cote d'Ivoire, I've been meeting or just hearing a lot more about Cote d'Ivoire. I want to go there, and I also want to go to Burkina Faso because the
Oh,
president there is
lately, amazing.
he's tearing it up. I'm like, okay, let me see what you're talking
Yes.
about. So that's amazing. Okay, we only have a couple more minutes left, Dr. Ava. I want to, I guess, just ask you what other advice you may have for another listener out there who you say you think your husband is a little bit more entrepreneurial than you. I'm a disagree. I'm politely disagree with you on that. I think you're an entrepreneurial hustler. I
Learning.
think that's the Haitian in you. Yes, I think that's the Haitian in you for sure. But what advice would you have for another doctor that's a business owner, another doctor that is kind of wearing all of those hats and running their business? How would you encourage them or just give them, I guess, a little glimmer of hope or advice to move forward?
It's definitely, it takes a lot. Life is lifing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And everybody's going through it. Everybody's feeling it. But I think that, making sure that you have those pockets of joy in between,
Hmm.
everything worth it. Because we're busy with life, we're busy with businesses, we're busy with work, we're busy with so much that we need to make sure we don't forget about ourselves in the process. And it makes the
Hmm.
process a lot more enjoyable. If there's something that I wish I knew many, many, many years ago, is that life is for living. I
Hmm.
wish I knew that many years ago, and I'm actually doing that now. And this is why I
Hmm.
travel so much because so many of us, especially in the medical field, we don't even know what makes us happy because we never had a chance or a moment to take the time to reflect on what it is
Right.
that makes us happy. We're just going with the flow. We're going, 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 going. The years go
Right.
by, and you don't know yourself. You don't know what it is that fuels you back, that fills you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I was able to figure that out for myself. And that's traveling. Um,
Hmm.
and that's why I make it a point to make sure that I do those things so that everything else I have going on, I can kind of enjoy the process a little bit more.
I love that. Thank you for saying that. Life is for living, not for doing anything else, but to just live. You're right. We get so caught up in the next step. Like, okay, got to get through college. All right, I'm through college. Got to get into medical school. Okay, got
Right,
into medical school. Got to get to residency. Got to do residency. Maybe fellowship. Got to do fellowship. Now I got to work this job and hit these metrics and do all of these things. We get lost on for the next thing, the next accomplishment. We lose the journey in the process.
right,
So thank you for that reminder. And I think that what you just said about we don't know what makes us happy, that is some of the most potent, powerful medicine that we can give ourselves, is to go find what makes us happy. I remember when I finished residency, that was one of the questions that I asked myself, because it's like, okay, I'm a doctor. Now
now
what? Literally, that's what came in my brain. It's like, now what do you do? And the first questions, I was just like, well, what do I want to do next? Like, now I've accomplished this. And so it was really like, what used to make me happy? I like to write. I like to read. I like to travel. So it was like going back to that version of me after I have played in these people's system for long enough and followed the rules to get to the goal. So thank you for that reminder to just always ask yourself, what do you want to do now?
right,
What makes you happy? Because at the end of the day, it's just going to be you. It's not going to be your family. It's not going to be your partner if you have one. It is literally just going to be you. So you always have to make yourself happy.
right, right. What makes you want to live?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Anything else? Anything else that you'd like to share with the audience today?
There's so many things developed. I don't even know what the future holds, to be honest. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out myself. I just take it a day at a time
Mm,
and see where it leads me.
I love it. Well, Dr. Ava, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your beauty, your grace. I appreciate everything that you shared with the Docs Get Money podcast. Listeners, you can find all of your information to hit up Dr. Eva on Instagram. Do you have a website? I think you do.
It's drevabtoday.com.
Okay.
My
And we
website,
will put that.
and it's also on my Instagram. So my Instagram is at dr.evab.
Perfect. And we will put those links in the show notes. But if there's no other further ado, thank you, Dr. Ava. Thank you so much again for joining us on this episode of the Docs Get Money podcast. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for listening to the Docs Get Money podcast. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you find your favorite podcast. Share, comment, follow, and subscribe to the Docs Get Money podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to know more, visit me, Dr. Kimberly Brown, at KimberlyBrownMD.com, and be sure to follow me at Dr. Kimberly B on Instagram. And until next time, let's go get this money, honey.